Welcome to Jaguar News and Views. I'm Isabella Fawn.
And I'm Colton Longley. We are your anchors for today's show.
Jaguar News and Views is produced by the first-year public speaking students here at Thomas Jefferson in conjunction with the production staff at WJAG.
Today's show includes Erica Lopez and Charlie Jameson with Scores in Sports, Brianna Bacchus with upcoming events, Daria Seaver with this week's Top 10 list, and Ken Yuzawa with Of Note.
Today's show also features Alif Mondal with our Wjag of the Week, Marielle Woods with our public service announcement, and Emiliano Ramirez with What If.
Now let's go to Brianna and this week's upcoming announcements.
Thanks, Colton. Want to hear wonderful music live? Well, this Thursday, February 15th, is the annual Orchestra Winter Concert. It's the perfect time to be inspired to join band or orchestra next year. Know what else is inspiring? Sugar! Like every Friday here at Jefferson, TJ Coffee House comes to serve food and drinks in the cafeteria. They will be here this Friday, February 16th from 8:15 to 10:15 a.m. What better way to celebrate our presidents than to take a day off of school? Monday, February 19th, there will be no school due to President's Day. Supporting your presidents is just as important as supporting your school. Come support the Jefferson speech team here at Jefferson on Saturday, February 24th. Back to you, Bella.
Thanks for the update, Brianna. Now let's go to Marielle Woods with our public service announcement.
Thanks, Bella. Imagine you're in class, and as you sit there, you just want to go to the bathroom. Here at Jefferson High School, there are a lot of different stories we hear about the boys and girls' bathrooms. What it really comes down to is that we aren't taking care of them. How many times should a toilet have to be unclogged or a soap dispenser replaced and even a paper towel dispenser? Now, I know a lot of you aren't passionate about making the bathrooms last, but that's no reason to go ahead and treat it like a war zone. We need to take an active stance and realize that just because we aren't caught that we have the right to. I mean, come on, we aren't middle schoolers, and it certainly doesn't make you a savage for tearing it up like so. In fact, it really tells us that the people who do it are juvenile, puerile, jejune, callow, inexperienced, unsophisticated, unworldly, and naive children. Just like when people say, go pick on someone your own size, no one ever said do it to the toilet. It's a privilege, not a right. Thank you.
Well said, Mario. A nasty bathroom is no potty. Up next, Of Note. Here's Ken Yuzawa.
Thank you, Colton. I want to tell the Labia Mott Bar. This is at downtown Minneapolis, and this is a famous barber shop and home of Juicy Lucy. They serve really delicious Juicy Lucy, but it's not expensive. You can have their Juicy Lucy with $7.50. I think it would be appropriate to go with anybody. 3 years ago, President Obama visited Mott Bar for their Juicy Lucy. I want to give 5 out of 5 for Mott Bar because that was best burger I've ever had. But they don't accept credit card, so just be careful. And if you have never been to there, you should go and try their Juicy Lucy. Now back to you, Bella.
Thanks, Ken. I hope I can swing by there sometime. Now let's pass the ball to Erica Lopez and Charlie Jameson with Scores in Sports.
Thank you, Bella. And now for this week's Girls Scores in Sports, we got an insight on the emotions and feelings from the cheerleaders after the national championship. It took place in Orlando, Florida on February 11th. Since we won last year, we were confident and we knew we had to do it again to keep a good reputation. We were nervous, but we did not want to let anyone down. A word from Mia Snyder. The girls had a victory for the second year in a row, bringing home much pride. Now switching gears, the girls' varsity basketball team faced Robbinsdale Coopers on Friday night here at Jefferson, finishing with a defeat. But no worries, Jefferson. They tried their best, and that's what really matters. Better luck next time. Lastly, the girls' varsity hockey team stood up against Minneapolis girls' hockey team on February 3rd with a score of 3-2, bringing home a victory. It was our last regular season game and we had to work hard, explains Lucy Bianchi, hockey player in the JHS varsity hockey team. Good job to all girls participating in JHS sports and keep taking W's. Now over to Charlie for this week's boys Scores in Sports.
Thanks, Erica. This last Saturday, the boys' Jefferson hockey team took on the Chaska Orioles. The boys were eager to get back in the ice with the Orioles, as last time they lost 2-3, and this time they started off with a great start with a 3-1 lead by Carson Jacobs. The Jags kept putting up scores throughout the game with a final score of 8-2. Way to go, boys! The boys' basketball team took it to Chaska yesterday, It was a close game, with Jefferson only being up by 1 point after the half, with a 33-32 win. The teams battled through the second half, with Jefferson sealing a deal with a close score of 77-71, knocking Chaska down to the second in the conference. Now to the world of skiing. The boys' alpine ski team took 5th at sections this weekend, better than expected according to Andrew Harmon. And the Nordic ski team, led by Matt Clark, took 6th at sections. That's all for this week's sports. Thanks. Back to you, Colton.
Thanks, Erica and Charlie, and congratulations to all of our JAG teams. Up next, politics, and not the good kind. Here's Charlie Jamison's editorial on money and politics.
In 2014, AT&T donated more than $4 million to political campaigns. That's not a donation, that's a bribe. More and more money is making its way into the pockets of our lawmakers, and it's silencing the voices of the people. It's time that we take back our government. Corruption is rampant in our government on both sides of party lines. In the last presidential election, Comcast donated more than $12 million to the candidates. If you think where presidential candidates get their money from doesn't affect their policy making, then you're wrong. Would a politician who a corporation donated to relax some regulations for them? Definitely. To solve this, we must either limit or ban corporate and non-individual donations to elections. Corporations aren't people, and therefore should not be treated as such. It's about time we take back our government, get the money out of politics.
Powerful stuff, Charlie. Up next, bad breakups. Here's Daria Seaver with this week's Jaguar Top 10 list.
Thanks, Colden. Having a rough time with that special someone, need a fast way to end it all? Well, here's top 10 worst ways to break up with someone. This list is so bad, your ex will never want to talk to you again. Number 10, it's not me, it's definitely you. Number 9, over email. Oh, who am I kidding? Nobody uses email anymore, so over text. Number 8, use a Starbucks cup. Hand them a cup of coffee and write on it, I'm done with you. Make sure to spell their name wrong so that they know you didn't care about them at all. Number 7, post it. Post that you're breaking up with them on a social media networking site. This way, you're publicly humiliated and you'll get so many likes. Number 6, on a special day or anniversary. Example, happy birthday, Bob. I'm breaking up with you because you're ugly and I just don't love you anymore. Number 5, this one is my favorite. Drop your chemistry class. When your special someone asks you why you dropped the class, answer with, because we simply didn't have chemistry anymore. Number 4, bring him or her to the gym, and when they ask you why you're just sitting there instead of lifting weights, tell them we aren't really working out. Number 3, this one actually happened to me. Date their best friend. Basically, he liked me, then he stopped talking to me, then he dated my best friend all in 3 days. Number 2, ask them if they want to get married. When they say yes, you say, well, I sure don't know, that's a real knee slapper. Number 1, finally, the worst way to break up with someone. Blow them off. I can tell you from personal experience that the texting one works best. It was painless for my ex and painful for me. Back to you, Bella.
Thanks, Daria. I'll keep that in mind for when I never get a boyfriend. Now let's go to Elif Mondol with our Jag of the Week.
Thank you, Bella. This week's Jag of the Week is Ethan Toe, an outstanding Jefferson role model. Both an AP student and captain of the swim team, he manages both positions flawlessly. With some time to spare for his hobby reading. Always swimming in varsity and going to Metro West tournaments for his swimming competitions. This year he might even go to state for his breaststroke swimming scores. Ethan describes swimming as, I quote, a very hard but fun sport that I hope to continue. As captain of the swim team, he often motivates his fellow members, and his coach has to say Ethan is a wonderful captain and an outstanding person, always looking out for the team. Back to you, Golden.
Well reported, Elif, and congratulations, Ethan. Up next, here's our What If/If Only segment with Emiliano Ramirez.
Thanks, Golden. What if we lived in a world that was connected by Pangea? The implications of this are frightening, but also really cool. Imagine having your feet buried within the warm sands of a vast desert, yet to your left you could see the icy peaks of the Himalayas. Imagine seeing one of the most beautiful hardwood forests you've ever seen, yet in another direction you could see volcanic badlands with lava flows and obsidian glass. Also, just imagine how much more we'd be connected together as a species if every race, creed, and religion was on one landmass, all together. I imagine we'd finally take time to learn and understand of each other. After all, So many conflicts of the world just happen because of misunderstanding. This all might seem like a bit of a stretch, but it's a pretty interesting one if it at that. Back to you, Colden.
Thanks, Emiliano. Well, I sure hope everyone had an excellent Valentine's Day this week.
Excellent job to all of our correspondents this week, and everyone have a happy Lunar New Year. Thanks for watching this edition of Jaguar News and Views. See you soon.